That he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older.
You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Boxing stars across the globe are buzzing with surprise and curiosity after Manny Pacquiao, now 46, shared he's stepping back into the ring to battle rising talent Mario Barrios. The legendary 8-time world champ, famous for his fast punches and endless energy, is back in the spotlight years after his last fight. Proving age can't stop the Filipino warrior. As word spreads, other boxing icons are reacting, some praising Pacquiao's unmatched heart, while others worry about the danger of him going toe-to-toe with a young, powerful rival like Barrios.
You named Manny Pacquiao, you clickbait in the name, he's 44 years old. Is there genuinely a chance of Manny Pacquiao versus Conor Benn? Have you spoken to anyone from Manny's team?
I mean, you know, maybe I'm clickbaiting, maybe watch this space.
And if the WBC clear Conor, do you still have to go to the British Boxing Board, or would they have to just be governed by whatever the WBC say?
I mean, ultimately it depends on the ruling on the test.
Lawrence Okoli apparently has given up his UK residency, and I'm assuming it's for tax benefits in the UAE. Would you recommend that to any of the young fighters coming up? Is that a good idea?
I mean, it's a very cloudy situation.
Looking down the card, which fight do you think we're more likely to potentially see an upset? Because the bookies have got the home fighters quite big favourites.
I promise you, someone from the away corner will win tomorrow night.
Is there any chance that the Irish government may help you out with the funding for that venue, do you think, or is that completely out there?
Yeah, I think it's
Manny Pacquiao's comeback to pro boxing at 46, where he'll face Mario Barrios, has stirred mixed feelings in the boxing scene. Some admire his drive and fame, while others worry about the risks of such a late return. Pacquiao plans a big comeback nearly 4 years since his last bout. WBC boss Mauricio Suleiman said Pacquiao will take on welterweight champ Mario Barrios in July 2025. The WBC allows retired champs to fight for belts again, a rule also used by Sugar Ray Leonard. The fight announcement depends on Pacquiao finishing his Senate run in the Philippines by May 12th. Still, signs point to July 19th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, which has already been booked.
Which contemporary fighter do you most enjoy watching right now?
Out of the big-time fighters now?
Yeah.
Pacquiao looks sensational his last fight. Oh, it's sensational. No fighter, and you as my witness, as any expert, no fighter looks more sensational than Pacquiao looked the other night. No fighter, name a fighter looked more sensational than Manny Pacquiao did the night he fought.
Let me sneeze and say Floyd Mayweather. How do I sneeze and say Floyd Mayweather?
All right, hey, listen. Then that shows that you're a neophyte in boxing. You know nothing about boxing.
Well, excuse me?
Because no.
What? I ain't hear you, Mike. What'd you say?
You don't know much about boxing.
You're a little uncomfortable up here.
No one said who was better. I said there's nobody in boxing that fighting that looks sensational.
Sensational.
The way that Pacquiao did against Rios.
Joe Rogan, well-known voice in fighting circles and host, raised concerns about Pacquiao coming back. He said, "This is dangerous," pointing to health risks for Pacquiao at this stage. Rogan stressed how hard boxing is physically and questioned if it's wise to return after being away so long.
It's as if Manny Pacquiao in the middle of his prime said, "I am going to fight MMA." That would be insane. And he'd probably get his face kicked off, probably get strangled, probably get taken down, strangled, and he would be helpless. It's a different skill set. There's so much more to MMA. To me, it's more exciting to watch.
Amir Khan, ex-champ and longtime friend of Pacquiao, had mixed thoughts on Pacquiao's return. While he sees the big money draw, he's uneasy about the reasons behind it. Khan said he'd be open to fighting Pacquiao if enough funding is raised, possibly by key boxing backers like Saudi official Turki Al-Sheikh. If someone like Turkey is involved, then why not? He said, showing how many shapes his choice. Yet Khan also thinks it's a little unfair for Pacquiao to fight for a belt again, with so many younger fighters in line. He added, if Manny wants to go for a title, fine, but isn't it a bit unfair? Give the new kids a shot, man.
He got in touch with me as well. Manny was like, shall we do a fight? He's quite serious about it. He was like, shall we make a fight happen? I go, listen, if you can get a funder, if you can get someone like a Turki Al-Sheikh on board, then why not?
There's no, I mean, that must be able to be made up. Yeah. I mean, surely.
You do that for the right money, right?
Massive. Look, we've had our best days, and I think a fight like that would definitely sell. I mean, Manny having a massive Philippine fan base, and all around the world really. And then obviously myself, I've got a decent fan base as well. So I think it will definitely sell, and people would like to see. When people make comebacks, I mean, people always like to see them see how the fight's going to be. And me and Manny are probably in the same position. We'd be both being retired for like 3-4 years. I think it will make a good fight.
And you're only 38 as well. I mean, so we've seen boxers older than that getting back into the ring. I mean, it's still a good age where you certainly could box again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at George Foreman, the late George Foreman. He was a great champion, and he came back. I think he must have been in his late 40s when he come back and won a world title as well. So look, in boxing, it's always that one punch. And at the same time, though, guys, is that I look back and think, do I need to get back in the ring again? You know, we've always been prize fighters. I've always taken punches to the head. It could just be that one punch that hurts you, and God forbid you get hurt and you can't spend good quality time with your family.
Khan also talked about the big fight with Pacquiao that never happened. He said the deal fell apart due to contract issues and missing funds. According to Khan, talks were ruined by middlemen and failed promises from investors, especially for a fight in the UAE. He said Bob Arum told him the backers couldn't gather the money and needed more time. The lack of cash led to the match falling through. Still, Khan is open to fighting Pacquiao, but only in major events with big names like Floyd Mayweather. He explained that he's financially okay and doesn't feel the fire for boxing unless it's a huge bout. I'm 90% done with boxing. I don't feel the love anymore. Only Manny or Floyd could get me back. Promoter Eddie Hearn also gave his take on Pacquiao's return at 46, facing Mario Barrios for the WBC belt. He sees Pacquiao as a legend with star power, but questions if it's right for him to fight for a title now. Should he be fighting for a world title? He asked, pointing to the effect on young fighters waiting for their shot. Hearn stressed the need to earn title chances through steady fights and skill. Still, he admitted Pacquiao's return will bring in big money due to his global fame, but Hearn warned that the long break and age might hurt Pacquiao's performance. His comments reflect a wider argument in boxing respecting legends, but also making room for rising stars.
Sensitive subject, like people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up, and people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, but he still hasn't had those wins yet. So, I like to see great fighters just slowly fade out of the sport, but also at the same time, if they feel good, if they feel they can be competitive, and there's a lot of money to be made, I also get it.
Mike Tyson once stirred debate by claiming Naoya Inoue is better than Manny Pacquiao. On his hot boxing show, Tyson called Inoue vicious, praising his fierce style. Inoue, nicknamed the Monster, has swept for weight classes and is undisputed in 2 bantamweight and super bantamweight with sharp skills and a 90% knockout rate. His dominance stands out. While Pacquiao made history with titles in 8 divisions, Tyson's view puts the spotlight on a news-perfect record and tight technique. This adds fuel to the talk about the greatest fighters ever. Terence Crawford, meanwhile, doubts Pacquiao's spot among top pound-for-pound names. He argues Pacquiao's WBA regular title isn't the real belt. He's not a champ to me, Crawford said, explaining that only super title holders count in his book. For him, unifying with true champs matters more than holding secondary belts. Crawford even questioned Pacquiao's legacy during a recent podcast. pointing out his past refusal to take Olympic-style drug tests during the Mayweather fight talks. Crawford noted that after agreeing to testing, Pacquiao hasn't scored a knockout since, suggesting a possible link.
I don't think Pacquiao took steroids. Really, the Mayweathers questioned it and drilled them on it, and that made people pick a side. I can't say that means Pacquiao was on something. And the reason why is because Pacquiao may have been the most tested fighter of all time. He never failed a test. Floyd did. So you're talking about a situation where now you're just saying he's so good that he must be on something. But number two, Crawford said Pacquiao was knocking everybody out until he took the test. That was a damn lie. Pacquiao power went down after he went up. Pacquiao didn't knock out anybody at welterweight. That had nothing to do with the test. He went up and he ain't knocked anyone out at welterweight. He knocked out Ricky Hatton. That was at 140. Floyd knocked out Ricky Hatton. So that doesn't say that Pacquiao had steroid power. He wasn't knocking out anybody. Yeah, he was beating them up.
In 2010, Pacquiao moved up in weight to challenge Antonio Margarito, a brave move in his glowing career. Though much smaller, shorter by 6 inches and 17 pounds lighter, on fight night Pacquiao used his speed and smarts to control the fight. He weighed in at 140 for 0.6 pounds, below the 150 pounds limit, and bulked up to 148 pounds, while Margarito likely entered at 165. Reflecting later, Pacquiao admitted how tough it was. Amazing I survived that Margarito fight. I was only 148 that night. The win gave him the WBC super welterweight title and sealed his record as the only boxer with titles in 8 divisions. Pacquiao, boxing's lone 8-division champ, was elected to the Hall of Fame in December 2024 on his first try. He'll be honored June 5th to 8th, 2025 in Canastota, New York. His career ran from 1995 to 2021 with 62 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws, and saw him winning belts from flyweight to super welterweight. Outside the ring, he served as a senator and even ran for president in 2022. He said, "I'm so happy to enter the Hall of Fame. This is a great Christmas gift." Others joining him include Michael Nunn and Vinny Paz. Pacquiao stepped away in 2021 to focus on politics after a loss to Yordenis Ugas at 42. He admitted his body was giving out, mentioning cramps in his legs, even though boxing lifted him from poverty. He said it was time to stop. "It's hard to say goodbye, but I'm retiring." That ended a 26-year journey like no other.
Remember that one. Pacquiao is now planning to run for president in his native Philippines this upcoming May. But Shannon, how will you remember Manny as a boxer?
Historically great fighter.
Good for you.
The only fighter to win 8 world titles. I mean, started out boxing, he was 106 pounds, won a title at, I think, 112, and went all the way up to
108 first.
Went all the way up to 154.
It's impossible. It's just...
I don't believe, I feel very comfortable and said I don't believe we'll ever see that again, Skip.
We'll never see it again.
And it wasn't like he was fighting bums. When you go back and look at Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales and Oscar Larios and De La Hoya and Hatton and Cotto, Margarita, Mosley, Timothy Bradley, Mayweather, Skip. I mean, what do you got to say? He was a champion in 4 different decades.
Yep.
Fighter of the year. First ballot Hall of Fame. He's great.
Stephen A. Smith spoke on Pacquiao's retirement in a short video, sharing deep respect for the boxing icon. He praised Pacquiao's huge accomplishments, like being an 8-division champ, and noted his lasting impact on the sport. Smith highlighted how Pacquiao inspired millions, not just through his punches, but also through his humble life and hard work beyond boxing.
Your thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's retirement?
One of the greatest fighters we've ever seen. Never ran from anybody. Had completely respected the sport of boxing. Was an ultimate champion. And I have to tell you, one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet on the planet Earth. I mean, when people... I want to say this real quick because I know we got to go because we got one more thing to discuss, Marcus.
Yeah.
When people talk about Manny Pacquiao and they say stuff like, well, he's fighting for money. I would like y'all to know that there are people who line up in the streets of the Philippines just to come get some money from him. He's very charitable.
Oh, yeah.
That's why money was compromising, because he's a giver. He's a special dude. I'm going to miss him.
Pacquiao's last fight came in August 2021, where he lost to Yordenis Ugas by decision. Since then, he's been away from boxing, Promoter Eddie Hearn warned that long breaks are hard for older boxers. While it's admirable that Pacquiao wants to come back, the physical demands at this level are tough. At 46, getting back into top shape and fighting younger guys is a big ask. Yet, Pacquiao's deep experience and clever fighting style may still make him a serious threat in the welterweight class. His fight with Barrios in July 2025 for the WBC title shows his hunger to stay at the top. Still, the result is hard to predict. Given his age and time away, his return has sparked a split among fans thrilled. Others cautious. WBC boss Mauricio Suleiman defended Pacquiao's chance at the title, saying their rules allow former stars to get another shot. The fight is more than just about belts. It's a statement about Pacquiao's unshakable drive. Known for his fierce style and will to win, Pacquiao's comeback could be another bold chapter in his story. If he wins, he'd be the oldest welterweight champ ever, further sealing his place in boxing history.
In a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Date yet to be confirmed, venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and you know, it was so out of left field. You know, Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time, and of course he lost to Yordenis Ugas, the very, very tricky Cuban fighter. Convincingly lost to Yordenis Ugas, and in that fight 4 years ago, as I say, 2021.
What do you think about Pacquiao stepping back into the ring? Do you believe he still has what it takes to battle at the top? Or should he focus on protecting his legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.